Good morning, No Man's Sky fans, travelers, and interlopers. Welcome to episode 19 of NMS's Life, where No Man's Sky is more than just a game. It's a way of life. With me, as always, is my friend and fellow host, DG Squared. Good morning, DG.
Good morning, travelers. How is everyone today?
I'm excellent, as always, my dude. As previously mentioned on an earlier episode of NMS's Life, the No Man's Sky Olympics would be coming to us once again this year. And here they are. This past weekend kicked off with the opening ceremonies and the TOG mud race. And to talk more about that is our pal SpaceArtGek. So Gek, thanks again for joining us this morning and welcome to the show.
Oh, you're welcome. It's good to be here. Thank you.
So this weekend that just passed, we had our opening ceremonies and I believe our first event. How did it go?
It was a lot of fun. It was it was like a lot of like last year, almost like watching a rerun of your favorite episode or something. Everybody who showed up and the base looked amazing. The races were great.
How was the turnout? I know you guys had quite the turnout last year. Did you have a lot of people showing up for the opening ceremonies?
We had a full 8 again in the stream in the PS4 broadcast. We had several signups. I invited even more as we went along, and then there were other races that he went on that I didn't know about. So that was good.
Oh,
we want to get more than even what's in the main going on.
And then we had the TOG mud race. Can you tell us what that was all about?
Well, at first I wasn't sure what it was. I thought it would be a pilgrim like type race, but they were worried about some of the base. So there's a lot of building that went on in the area, so maybe the base would glitch out. So we wasn't sure. For me, not so much. I just kind of kept. I'd fall in those holes once in a while. I'd try to climb out and just keep racing, but it was overall I really liked the track. We raced with no markers for that one, just because of all the chances to fall through if you did, but it works really well, man. That track is great. It kind of loops around and then it comes right back to the Olympic base. So
nice.
One of my favorite tracks.
I noticed too, there was I saw just some highlights of the roamer. Someone was in a roamer going over those boost tracks and everything else. Was there a roamer race as well that took place, or was that the same one?
It was the roamer race is what we ultimately ended up doing, because it was going to be pilgrim at first, but then we switched to roamers.
Oh, okay.
And it was really cool to see all the roamers lined up, like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And then they were flying all over during the race, and all those speed boosters were launching people over the. I was getting launched sideways several times.
And for those that don't know where to tune in, I know you guys have your own Twitch channel that you're using right now. NMS Olympics, I believe.
At twitch.tv/NMS Olympics.
Yeah, so NMS Olympics all together. So you guys, if you haven't caught the opening ceremonies, if you weren't able to catch that, you can still watch the archive. Now these events now, as we stated earlier when we had you on the show discussing the NMS Olympics, they go on every weekend. So it's more of a weekend thing. So next weekend, November 10th and 11th, what can we expect to see then?
Starting on Saturday, we're going to have the portal relay race. It's going to be in creative mode, and it was designed by Survival Guru. Some of you may have been a part of the portal relay race last year. It was really a trip. I mean, you had all these different orbs going through the portal and trying to come back and get some address that was in some hidden location. Once you go through the portal and then you come back, you got to go through it again to go somewhere else. This year with Nex, it's probably going to be. Apparently, he's built all these bases inside the thing and done all this different stuff. So I don't know all the details yet, but Guru's done something pretty cool with it.
Yeah, that sounds pretty wild, actually. That sounds like something you can actually get lost in doing.
Yeah, there might be players lost. I mean, during last year's event, I went through the wrong address once or twice. There were players going, "Where am I?"
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's
that's part of decoding it, right?
Yeah.
it's a bit of unpredictability. I mean, yeah, you just don't know how it's going to turn out, and especially per individual who's playing. It'll be funny to hear some of the stuff that happens to players while they're going through it.
Yeah. And DG, you were there this weekend, right?
Yeah, I took part in the mud race. It was a lot of fun in the roamer, bouncing around and falling through the map and trying to stay afloat. We had a great time. We also had a secondary race, which was also fun. We tried out one of the Nautilus tracks, and that was a blast. Those of you who haven't tried, you can have a race underwater as well, and they're just as much fun because you can go literally up and down as well, right? As you know, jumping isn't necessarily part of it, but we had a blast. But I don't even know how did you do on that race, Gek? I didn't even see you. I think we were in different heats.
The Nautilon race, right? You were in the heat with. Were you in the one with the? No, you were in the one with me and Rabbit Gripper, right?
I think so.
And then our race got cut short because I think Guru started a track and it cut everyone else's race. All of a sudden, the race markers all disappeared. So I think the results were inconclusive. Second race, but there was another heat that Normie did, and they won that one.
Yeah, that sounds really good. I'm glad. Good for Normie for winning.
And he'll get a medal. These are real medals. They're sending him out. Swisher's done a great job on this, and I guess you get a certificate and a medal for winning.
Oh, you're handing out
awesome.
like real life medals, or?
Yeah. Tell us about the medals, Gek. That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Swisher's done a great job going through and designing these medals. That silver, bronze. There's. Apparently there's a certificate that comes with it too. So they put a whole package together for you once you win something. So if anyone's invited to these events, show up, you could win something. And it's so definitely take part. We had a player who won for the first time yesterday in the heat with Normie, the Killmeister 015, along with Captain Admin, who got a bronze. So and there's 18 more events, so there's plenty of time to compete, and
Oh, that's so cool.
How long are the Olympics going on for? To my understanding, it's a month long. It goes from November 4th to when?
Until December 9th will be the closing ceremony.
Okay. So everybody that is interested, you can definitely sign up for any one of these events over a month long. And does any event take place during the week, or are they just on the weekends?
They are just on the weekends right now.
Yeah.
If something could get moved eventually, but if all the currently Saturday, Sunday.
Right. And I've seen the lineup. You guys are booked with tons of events. Tell us about some of the other interesting events that are going to be put out over the coming weeks.
On Sunday, after we do the portal relay race, we got another solar system race. We've got a zoo scan challenge coming up with the. That's a lot of fun if we can pick some interesting planets for that. Another solar system race coming up on the 11th. There's a event that DG Squared's doing, right, with the working on some kind of a warp long distance race. So that's going to be, there's a Nautilon coming up on the 18th, 24th, a low flight ship race. That's going to be, I guess Captain Admin's putting together something special for that.
Oh, well, that sounds cool.
Basically just flying in low flight, because a bunch of ships together. So that might have some interesting results. All the way down.
Definitely get your shields up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine people bumping or maybe fly too high up in the atmosphere, lose a bunch of time. If some other events too, Sentinel Slaughter, PvP.
Yeah, what's the PvP knockout arena?
What's involved in the Sentinel Slaughter? Like, you just go out and start shooting sentinels, or is there more to it than it reads?
With last year's event, where whoever got the most kills, it was a really hard fought event. I think they had like 40 kills to 39 was the final with Cyril and admin. And so we would do something similar. The game might change a little bit with there being multiple players, so we'll have to, but the captain admin's doing this event, so we'll see if he wants to change rules or not, or we'll do some testing.
It'd be interesting if taking out the walkers or dogs are worth more, or whether or not it's just worth it to just shoot straight up sentinels. It's going to be interesting to see how that works out. You mentioned the Zoo Scan challenge. What's entailed in that? I mean, that one just sounds fun in general, running around. Is that like the first person to get all the species, or is it like a team event?
Yeah, it's basically everyone at the space station. We all, we meet at some other system that and then we go to a system just to make sure no one's been there before, that we've already been to, we haven't scanned. Get everybody in the space station. We do a countdown, and all the ships fly to the planet and try to scan as fast as they can. So sometimes you end up scanning all the animals real quick, and like so-and-so's got 5, and somebody else got 7, and so whoever's got the most wins the round. This time we might try to find as many animals as we can, and maybe you have to go dive down underwater and scan even more. If there's, I believe how some have more animals down below, so we might do something like that.
Yeah, that's cool. I noticed the Dark Tower Decathlon has made it back this year again as well.
Yeah, that was one of our marquee events last year. It was fantastic. So looking forward to seeing what Ranger does with that. He's very creative, and I'm sure it's going to be an amazing event.
It's always a great challenge. From decoding and searching and mazing or being stuck in a maze. It's one of those well-rounded events. I look forward to that one for sure.
That one involves you have to zoo scan. You have to find some specific animals, and that can be a real challenge. You got to go in and craft some stuff in the Dark Tower, and you got to figure out your way to get to the court of the Crimson King. And with Next, I'm sure it's, he's going to do something just wild. So we'll looking forward to that.
That's great. And
I can't wait to see his next concoction. Those towers are always amazing.
Your PvP knockout arena, is that just going to be what it sounds like? Is that just going to be 4 players pitted against each other in last man standing?
That's what we're thinking so far. I mean, this one's being hosted by the Geeky Pikachu, or also known as Snow Obsidian. Shout out as well. And apparently he's in charge of these Cobra TV events with PvP, so he's done this before. So that's going to add a new flavor to it.
Oh, that sounds wild. Nice.
Yeah, that's a first in the Olympics. I don't think anybody's done a PvP other than the Cobra TV. So having it in the Olympics would be interesting to see how well this one does. It may even leave the doors open to other PvP type style events or group team events. That might be kind of interesting.
Yeah, that is a good idea. We might have some other types of styles of PvP as we do this as well. So might see some updates to schedule a little bit, or at least game rules when we post them on that one coming up December 1st.
One of the questions I wanted to ask for everyone else that's watching is how can you get involved in the Olympics? How can somebody just come on in and take part and compete and have some fun with everybody else?
Great question. Sign up sheet. I'm getting you the link now so we can post it on Cloud Runner here. The sign up sheet, you can find it also at the if you go to Gamepedia and you search for No Man's Sky Olympics, it'll bring up to 2018, and then from there's a sign up sheet, and you just fill that out. You fill out what event you want to sign up for. And then once you're signed up, you'll get an invite. Games are primarily in PS4 normal right now. There's next week's is one in creative, but still put down your hardware and if your PC or Xbox, and also put down your game mode and your Steam, PSN, or Xbox ID. And then that way we can at least try to route you with some other players who might be having events that weekend. And if we know who you are, we can send you an invite, or at least route you with a group of players. If you're not going to be in the main, event, in the main chat anyway, you'll at least be competing, and then that group will compete against the other group who wins. So just be aware, we're trying to get as many can, even if one chat's full, they're still join and be a part of the other heat.
Yeah, it's got to be tough with the, now that they have it released on Xbox as well, right? I mean, now they have the multiple platform. Do you guys see in the future maybe collaborating with some Xbox people, if some guys maybe in the Amino start to develop their own events? Could you see yourselves kind of collaborating with them to compete across all platforms, somehow bring it together? I don't know how you would do that, but do you think that's something you guys would work on in the future, or?
Yeah, I think so. For say per hardware or so, unless you could somehow tie those two together to compete against each other in a final or something. But I mean, right now we got these Xbox guys with Scaffaroni. He's putting together soccer for later in the tournament, like December 2nd.
Okay.
So he's doing a soccer event. He's doing this also Galactic Cup 2018. So shout out to that. So and then we're working with Wooly, who's our new Xbox curator on Amino. Shout out to Wooly. So I was seeing if I could hopefully get those two together to do a soccer match. And so yeah, other formats, hardware, join with other players and make your own events. That's part of the spirit of the Olympics, what we're trying to do here.
No, that's great.
Now, you've been talking about soccer a little bit here. We have an event that entails some soccer coming up. I've noticed on the Olympic schedule. What could you tell us all about that? That sounds really interesting.
Yeah, this is a new event. Start with a semifinal on December 2nd. Maybe if we can get 4 teams together, we'll play. If we get that many, it might be difficult, but we'll see. But we'll play as many as we can, and then whittle it down to a final that we'll have on December 8th. And so this will be an interesting game. We'll have to make some kind of a base and try to design it like a soccer arena.
Yeah. Now, is this like on foot, your character, or something you do in an exocraft? Like
this
Rocket
one's
League?
On foot, and it involves going to a ruin and taking one of those rolling balls, and then you got to build around that area. And so there'll be like 4 of us in the arena, basically 2 on 2, and you're trying to roll, and the other team's trying to stop you from rolling it into the net.
That sounds hilarious.
Well, you guys are making Rocket League in No Man's Sky. That sounds great.
I can see that with both. Yeah, I can see that. On foot, or even in one of those nomads. That would be kind of fun, bouncing the ball around, trying to get that from one end of the arena to the other. I look forward to that one. That one looks really.
That does. It sounds like Rocket League. It sounds incredible.
It does, doesn't it?
Another one too that sounded kind of neat was one that you were talking about, Deej, with the Nautilon, and it was one that you had an idea of. What was? Tell everyone about that one, because that one's hilarious.
Well, this one's sort of a newer event as well. Obviously, because the Nautilus is a new vehicle to the game. So there's a race taking place with the Nautilus, and I kind of wanted to try something different. And lately, we've been noticing people are able to get that thing up on land and get it to bounce around and roll a little bit. So I'm currently trying to work on creating a little arena or an area where we can get that thing up and rolling and have a Nautilus roll contest and see who can roll that thing the furthest.
So would you what are you gonna do? Like count the rolls, like how many times the thing rolls, or just gonna go sheer distance? Or
I think we're gonna go with kind of like like a judging kind of event where
jump?
Distance. Well, yeah, like distance, a number of rolls, style. might come into
so
it.
like judging, like divers, like an Olympic diving judging panel.
Yeah, something like that, right? You got to make it a little bit fun, I mean, it's kind of like a freestyle thing to get that thing up and out and rolling around, and you can do some pretty crazy stuff with it. So yeah, we might try something like that. We're not sure how we're going to judge it just yet.
That's hilarious.
I'm still searching for just the right perfect spot to build it. I've had a couple of builds which have been successful, but I think I can do better. So yeah, that's one event coming up, I believe November 11th. So
that's
that
great.
should be good. Looking forward to that.
Rabbits and Earth for gold on that one for what he was doing yesterday doing these bounces with the.
You look like a Nautilus yo-yo. It was bouncing up and down about 100 U's in the air. It was crazy. I don't know what he was doing.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know how he pulled that.
Yeah, whatever he's fueling that thing, I want
it. So I guess we're gonna have
one of those moments of the opening ceremony. Reminds me of Niblet with permadeath in the first opening ceremony.
I was just thinking of that. That's so weird.
Was a brilliant moment.
You just read my mind. Yeah.
So we've also got solar system races again in this year's events. How many solar systems are we going to be racing? Is there just one particular track, or is there several tracks that are being used?
We do several. Try to find some interesting ones. That Mino Prime's it's a great track. It could be a little difficult and easy to get lost. So I think we'll do a couple of those simple ones too. And let's see, we got one. Yeah, like 3 of them coming up.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing which systems we're going to use for those. How many planets you got to go around and so on and so forth. That was a lot of fun last year. We had some great times. I had some great success and failure at the same time. Those pirates, man, I tell you, they can jump you at any time.
Yeah, when you guys do the solar system race, how do you just pick like a list of solar systems, and that's what the competitors have to find and go through, and then just end up at the last one type of deal?
I think DG was the first champion of this. Basically, you have to know which planet to go around, and you have to go around the right side of it, and then you got to go around the right side of the next planet, and then go. And it's sometimes it's with Mino Prime specifically, you didn't know sometimes which planet you were going around, or when you were starting out was tough. But it's as long as you know the track or where to go, you don't get lost so much. It's sometimes you have players cutting across the middle, and that can throw you off.
Oh yeah.
But it's a good event because you can actually have these varying results.
Well, Ed's right, and anybody can get jumped by pirates at any time, which can slow you down. You can obviously pay them off or fight them or try and duck them in any way, but either way you look at it, it still slows you down. So to get a clean run without any pirates is very, very rare. And I know last year having lots of planets make it really interesting for a good track, right? Because if you've got, say, a 6-planet system, you can, you start in one direction and you got to go around each of those 6 planets, which pretty much takes you around the whole solar system, right? And then back into the space station. So the more planets, the better in those types of runs. And you literally it's all, decided upon before the match, which planets you're supposed to go around first, in what order, and you just follow along.
I wonder now.
It's a hell of a lot of fun.
I wonder now too, because about the pirates, if that could work in your advantage. Say they hail you, they want to fight you, and you say, okay, let's go, but you keep flying, and there's someone creeping up behind you, and they kind of get into that pirate's range. I wonder if that can work to your advantage now.
Well, it'll be interesting to see if it does, if it activates other players.
Like, wouldn't that piss you right off if you fly into a mist of pirates and be like, when the hell did these guys get here?
Keep flying, I guess. I don't know.
It's like pirates will slow down 2 players, and the player comes through the gate.
Yeah, exactly. Opportunist, right?
Yeah.
If you got a fast enough ship, right? Just stay ahead of them.
Why not? Oh, that'd be hilarious. I know that was a popular one last year. Another popular one last year that I I don't see it on the list here. Was the shark survival, the Aquapad shark event?
The Aqua Shark Survival.
Yeah, are you guys
Yes.
bringing anything like that back, or or are we making room for more newer things?
That that was brought back conversation when the Abyss update dropped. We're suddenly thinking about, well, we're going to get an Aqua Shark event back, and it was one of our favorite ones last year. I loved it. I think if I'll keep testing out the Abyss, see if there's any creatures that or any places where it might work. Aqua Shark Survival worked so well because that planet Land O'Lakes had like these little pockets of lakes with like 3 or 4 sharks swimming in them, and so it was great to have players, just get chased constantly.
Yeah.
This one might be a little different because you're in a bigger, most of what I see is bigger oceans and bigger fish down there, but there's more testing that's got to be done before we can bring that out again.
All right.
We'd use Land O'Lakes again, but the planet is gone after the update, unfortunately.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure, eh? But because they do have those big what do they call those big sea creatures now?
Anglerfish.
Yeah, that come out when you take those what is it, the Hadal crystals or whatever. I don't know if that would be
That's
something.
right. Yeah.
Those things would chase you down. They're pretty relentless.
Yeah, they'll chase you down. Yeah.
We'll have to. I haven't even. So I'm gonna have to, and we're gonna have to see. Maybe that's something we can do. If you can get like a bunch of them chasing you, or if they're mean enough to cause some damage, then that might make it fun for a bunch of players.
Yeah. So who do you have working with you on this? I mean, I know it's a lot to put together. It's a lot to organize. I know you had a pretty solid team last year. Do you have the same crew or more with you again this year, putting everything together? Who's behind the curtains on this stuff?
Oh yeah, this is a really good team this year. We've put together a lot more. We've got the president Normie from the TOG.
Right.
He's doing some amazing stuff, building the Olympic base. It's always fun to do those game sessions. Vice President Captain Admin, doing low flight race, the Sentinel Slaughter. Swisher, 1961, he's handling the medals awards. A shout out to Swish, and always does an awesome job on the Amino Hub Tribune. The Ranger on the Dark Tower. Got Rabbit on the Cave Race, and also he's put together an Olympic shield, which we'll release later on today also. And then the PvP Arena event-based creation, we have Boyd helping us out with that.
Oh, nice.
And Geeky Pikachu, PvP event manager, Survival Guru with the Portal Relay Race, and then Polo Elpida. He's been handing out supplies. He gave admin a bunch of stuff to help build. So he's there just to help us build and to give out supplies to gamers.
Oh, nice.
And then the soccer event, Scaffaroni and Biggest Nerd Here, 22. So it's a little bigger committee this year for sure.
Oh, right on. That's good. So it's growing.
Definitely, it's something that can't be done alone. It's a hell of an undertaking to coordinate all these events and to build all these events. So good shout out to everybody that's involved, and thank you very much for helping make the Olympics possible once again.
DG Squared also is a part of this with also doing that new warp race and the ideas. Always bring good ideas to us. So
thank you.
Member there.
I'm still working out the details on the warp race. Trying to find the right distance in order, so it's not too long of a race. But I wouldn't mind something of a mini marathon. Would be kind of interesting. Possibly a couple 100,000 light years and back. We'll have to talk further about that on your thoughts on how far is far enough.
How long would that take?
Well, that's what I'm trying to work out. I'm thinking, we don't want too long, right? I mean, it's a weekend event and people have limited time. So, I figure possibly maybe an hour long kind of warping event there and back, half an hour there, half an hour back. So I've just got to put some warp cells in and get warping and see what what kind of distance I can cover, and then go from there. And the plan is to have stops along the way to help keep you on track of the course. Right, so it'll give you a new set of coordinates when you get to your next stop, and then you'll follow those coordinates to another stop along the way. So that's sort of it's kind of like a older fashioned form of, say, a portal relay race, right, where you're getting coordinates to move on to the next set of coordinates.
That's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, kind of cool that if you have like a portal party or just a party at the location where all the players are traveling to. And then you can watch them all warp in or something and see who wins, or see who rides first.
Either that or a round trip loop back to the TOG, right? So I mean, either way.
You watch them all take off and then they come back.
And then they can come back, yeah. So that might be kind of fun as well. But we'll see how that goes, and try and work on that, and we'll see how many people are interested in that kind of event. But that's some of the contributions I'm trying to make. Hopefully they work out well for us.
You're the master at this warp. Do those races with Kelly Monkey and the going from all the way through the galaxy.
Yeah, I remember.
I do miss those races.
I was going to say, I remember
while.
those weekly races that you guys used to do. Yeah.
Yeah, they were fun. We're gonna have to hook up and do that again. We're quite a distance apart right now. My save has gone kaput, and his has actually started working again. He's out there in the 255th, wandering around, having fun.
Yeah, I've seen him playing.
I'm stuck back.
Yeah, that's good to see,
the
good to see him
27th.
back.
Yeah, but maybe my save will get fixed. We'll join up again on that one.
Nice.
I know with multiplayer I can join anywhere at any time, but it's not the same without my legacy save.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd really like that one to get working, but in time, HG will fix small things.
No, that's great. So everybody, again, if you want to tune into this stuff, twitch.tv/NMS Olympics. I believe Cap has posted it in the chat. We'll also have it posted in the YouTube comment section or the description below. I mean, if you want to join in, if you want to watch the VODs afterwards, I mean, I had fun watching some of the VOD from last night. It just looks like a riot, and there's a lot of hard work, a lot of love going into this stuff. Again, it's that element that people are bringing from outside of the game universe into No Man's Sky, which is so doable with No Man's Sky. That's what's so great about this game. So thanks again, Gek, for joining us and sharing your creation, and giving a shout out to your team that's been putting in a lot of work creating another fun NMS Olympics this year. And I look forward to covering it again next week.
You're welcome. Yeah, well, it'd be great. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you, Rock On Nerd League and Cloud Runner, DG, and thanks to everybody who came out.
Well, thanks again for coming out and being on the show. We love talking about the Olympics, and you're always welcome to come back. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great week, guys.
So everyone listening in chat that tuned in live, thanks for showing up. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you're listening to this on YouTube, it's just because you are a beautiful and wonderful person. So until next week, my friends, stay safe and catch the Olympics.
Till next time, y'all.